So you've decided you want to get into the world of sim racing after receiving some extra cash for Christmas, but are unsure where to start? This video will explain all you need to know and serve as a general buyer's guide for sim racing wheels under $500. And that brings us to the first topic: gear-driven, belt-driven, and direct drive wheels. When you shop for sim racing wheels, you will come across these terms. They essentially describe how the sim racing wheels produce the feedback you feel when you're driving, otherwise known as force feedback or FFB for short. Gear-driven wheels are generally the cheapest wheels you can find that provide force feedback. These utilize a gear system attached to a motor inside the base, which in turn translates and amplifies the force feedback that is set from the game. The pros of this type of technology is that it is generally much more affordable than belt-driven or direct drive wheels and provide a decent driving experience. Though that comes with a few downsides. Namely, gear-driven wheels can be quite noisy due to the clunkiness nature of gears. This can be a deal breaker for certain people if noise is an issue. Another downside to gear-driven wheels is that the quality of the force feedback itself may not be the greatest, again due to the clunkiness nature of gears. You may feel the occasional grinding of the gears, which isn't ideal. A step up from the gear-driven wheels would be belt-driven wheels. As its name suggests, it uses a rubber belt system attached to a motor inside the wheelbase to send feedback to the rim. Because it uses a belt instead of clunky gears, the noise and quality of force feedback is significantly improved from its gear-driven counterparts, and there is essentially zero grinding to be felt. A downside to this type of wheel is cost, since they generally go for up to double the price of gear-driven wheels. A potential downside might also be longevity, as rubber wheels will tend to wear quicker than gears. Now, we move on to the holy grail of sim racing technology: direct drive. Direct drive wheels use a mechanism that transfers the forces of the motor directly to the rim without the use of any gear or belt system. This provides the strongest and most accurate force feedback of the three main types of wheels, since the details provided from the simulator aren't affected by any gear or belt system. A massive downside to direct drive wheels would be the obvious cost, as higher end direct drive wheels can go up to the thousands. Now let's get to the fun part: choosing and buying your first wheel. A great entry into the sim racing wheel would be the G29 or G920 wheels from Logitech. I have personally seen these wheels drop to under $200 brand new off Amazon, which is an amazing deal for what you get. You can also find them for less than $150 secondhand, pretty reliably. At these prices, there is no better deal, and they are a great option for someone just getting into sim racing. The G29 and G920 are gear-driven wheels with a very impressive feature set, such as a LED rev counter, plenty of buttons, paddle shifters, and a genuine stitched leather rim. The price also includes a set of pedals with the obvious accelerator and brake, and also a clutch for those who prefer driving manual transmission cars. The difference between the G29 and G920 is simply console compatibility and slight differences to the wheel. The G29 is compatible with the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, while the G920 is compatible with the Xbox One and Xbox Series consoles. Of course, both wheels also work on PC. The G920 also has a different color scheme, comes with slightly less buttons than the G29, and also lacks an LED rev counter. With a slightly increased budget of $200 to $400, you start getting into belt-driven wheels. A great offering would be the T300RS or TX from Thrustmaster. You can often find these for less than $400, and they can even go for less than $250 secondhand if you get lucky. These wheels are belt-driven wheels and provide a significant upgrade in force feedback quality over the previously mentioned G29 and G920, so you should definitely try to spend a bit more for these. They come with impressive force feedback, plenty of buttons, and even a detachable wheel, so you can change out the wheel for any compatible Thrustmaster wheel if you wanted to. The differences between the T300RS and the TX are similar to Logitech's wheels in terms of console compatibility. The T300RS is compatible with PlayStation and PC, while the TX is compatible with Xbox and PC, but they are pretty much identical otherwise. With a budget of $400 to $500, you step into direct drive territory. At this price range, Fanatec has the ready-to-race bundles, which are an amazing deal for what they provide. The CSL DD 5Nm bundle for PC includes a wheel, direct drive base, and a set of 2 pedals for only $400. Unfortunately, this $400 price tag does not include a table clamp for the wheelbase, so that is an additional cost to the customer if they do not already own a sim racing wheel stand or cockpit. Another wheel to consider would be the R5 bundle from Moza, starting at just $459, which includes everything the Fanatec includes, plus a table clamp. These two options are excellent entries into direct drive wheels, and both provide an amazingly accurate and wonderful driving experience. That about sums up the buyer's guide for sim racing wheels under $500. Of course, this video just serves as a general guide and does not include every single wheel on the market. And just in case you have not noticed, this is my first ever YouTube video on this channel, so if this guide helped you out at all, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe for future sim racing content. With that all said, I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day.